In this video, we are going to learn how to solve a quadratic equation by graphing. So for each of these examples, we'll solve each equation by graphing and give each answer to at most 2 decimal places. So we have here our first equation, 2x squared plus 7x equals 15. And to solve quadratic equations, it's best to find zeros, which means move everything to one side of the equation. So I'm going to do that by subtracting 15. Give me 2x squared plus 7x minus 15 equals 0. And now I'll go to my calculator and I'll put this into y1. So that'll be 2x squared plus 7x minus 15. And then I will graph. So I'll hit the graph button. And it'll show me a quadratic. Now it makes a little parabola. And you'll see here it crosses the x-axis over here on the left and on the right here on the other side of the y-axis. So I need to find out where it crosses. Now there's a feature in here called the 0 option, which if you hit second trace, it'll bring you to a calculate menu, and you'll see here the second option is 0. And I'll ask you for a left bound. Now what this means is, let's go to one of the zeros. I'm going to move my cursor to the left. You'll see my x's are changing as I move it to the left. You'll see this little cursor pop up. I want to say left bound, which means move that cursor to the left of the 0. So right now I'm left of the 0. I'll hit enter and it'll ask me for a right bound, which means use the arrows to move your cursor to the right of that 0. And now it'll guess between those 2 points what this point is right in between. If I enter one more time, it'll guess that it is x is equal to -5. So that is one solution. Now to get the other one, I just hit second trace and 0 again. And now it wants a left bound, but we'll put it by the other 0 this time. So I'll hit right until I reach it. There I am, but I want to be left of it, so it's right there. So let's go left a little bit. Hit enter. Now it's a right bound, so we go right of the 0. You see here, I'm just hitting the right arrow until I'm to the right of it. And then I'll guess, and it'll guess 1.5. So x is equal to 1.5. Now, some of these can be factored, but I want to show you how to use this by graphing. If you want to double check my work, factor this equation and see if you still get the same answers. Next up we have x squared plus 2x minus 24 is equal to 0. So this one's already set up for me to start plugging in and finding values. So I'll hit y equals, I'll clear it out, and I'll put in x squared plus 2x minus 24, graph it. Those are my 2 zeros. And now I'll hit second trace 2. It's another fast way to get there. Hit the second option. Left bound, so again, I'm going to go left until I see my cursor pop up by this 0. There it is. Go left of it. Hit right a few times, make sure I'm right of it. Hit enter again to guess, and it's at x equals -6. And if I do it again, second trace 2 for the 0 feature. Once the left bound, so I need to move my cursor all the way to the right. So somewhere right there, enter. Then you go right of the 0. Hit enter again, and it'll guess it is 4. I'll try this with one more example because I want to show you how you can input fractions into this type of calculator. So if I hit y equals and I clear it out, if I want to put 1/2 in there, I open my parentheses and I do 1 divided by 2, close parentheses, and then I'll put my x squared. So now that reads 1/2 x squared. And then minus x, but it's not everything on the left side yet, so I need to subtract 8. So I have -1/2 x squared minus x, then minus 8 equals 0. So minus 8. I'll hit graph. And there's my parabola. And now I'll hit second trace 2. Go left of the first left 0. And then go right of that same 0. Be careful you don't go right of the right 0. You have 2 of them in there, because in that case it'll just like pick one of them instead of like one specific one. Well, if here we have negative x is equal to negative 3.12, if I round to the at most 2 decimal places. You'll notice here that this is a lot longer of a decimal, which means that this probably does not factor, because usually if it factors, you usually have some sort of fraction that you can easily tell is a fraction. Here it doesn't seem like it is a fraction. Now if I keep going, I'll have to put second trace 2. Now I'll go to the left of the right 0. So I'll go loop down, come back up, hit enter while I'm to the left, keep going to the right, hit enter while I'm to the right of it, and it'll guess it is 5.12. And that is how you solve a quadratic equation by graphing.